Good evening and welcome to On Air, Direct Selling Live's new internet television show that gets into different topics and different subjects as they relate to direct selling on a daily basis. On Air, it's such an interesting process, an interesting challenge for me to try to do. If you can imagine, with all the things that I have to do, keeping Direct Selling Live going, the 100 million voices, the tax petitioning, just all the other things, for me to even attempt to do a show that will, just so you know, be a daily show beginning November 1st, 2011. That's right, we'll be doing this Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, On Air with Keeper. It's a show, as I said, that we're going to look at different topics and different events that happen in direct selling. News in direct selling happens every single day. There's always something going on. And as I was thinking about how do we go about getting this type of information to people a little more quickly than your average monthly magazine or monthly newspaper or trade journal, I decided to say, you know, I think I can do a daily show. If not, I'm going to die trying. Doing something like this is definitely a first in direct selling. It's very much like the company that I'm here to talk about, which is XANGO. If you look over my shoulder here, XANGO here in Utah. I have been asked to come out and take a look at the XANGO 2011 Go convention by Chairman and Founder Aaron Garrity. Earlier this year, I had a chance to come out to Utah and spend some time taking a look at what XANGO was all about. And at that time, he asked me a couple of things. Number one, if I would be interested in coming and watching and experiencing what the XANGO convention is all about. Because we recognize that Direct Selling Live is growing, and we're really becoming a really fine media company. We're certainly different than any media company that's out there. And second of all, and this was probably the biggest stunner, he asked if Direct Selling Live would be interested in partnering with XANGO to do two things. Broadcast XANGO's live convention on Direct Selling Live. Absolutely, you know, to be asked was an absolute honor to broadcast this event live. And the second part was to participate in another industry first, which is an on-demand broadcast that XANGO is definitely doing. Well, the live broadcast, that got jettisoned. Just too many things to get accomplished in such a short window. But the live on-demand piece, but the on-demand piece is definitely going. In fact, when you come into Direct Selling Live, you see it right there. We'll get into what that's all about, what that has been, how that's actually been going. It's actually been pretty exciting. But I want to talk about XANGO. But before I do, just know that this particular show will be sponsored today by the Direct Selling Home-Based Business Tax Credit Initiative Petition 2012. Take a look at the button down below, click on it, look at this petition, because it really talks about how we as distributors, let me clarify that, how you as distributors have an opportunity to get the politicians in Washington to look at the home-based business community as a powerful voting bloc. Oftentimes they look at us as disenfranchised because you tend to be individual home-based businesses. But we are a very, very, very powerful voting bloc if we can come together, and that's what this initiative is all about. It's not just about 2012, it's about 2012 and beyond. And one other program note, tomorrow morning, Saturday, I will be doing a radio interview with MYB Talk and their host Brian tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern Time. That's 9:30 Eastern Time on Sirius XM Radio, channel 128. Once again, MYB Talk, Keeper will be speaking about his experience this weekend at the Salt Palace, where XANGO is having their 2011 Go convention. Like I said, we're here at the Salt Palace. It's absolutely beautiful outside. It started out kind of cloudy today, but now as you can see, the sun has come up, and it's just, there's so many people milling around this place that are just so excited to be here for this XANGO thing. Started out for me, we arrived yesterday, which is Thursday, and it was a pretty challenging day. I got on the airplane, and oftentimes I'll have this ear thing here with my left ear, and it just would not pop. And I was in such excruciating pain, I almost thought I wasn't going to be able to do this show. The pain was so acute, was so intense, that it was something that I really thought I may have to go to the doctor to just taken care of. But luckily, things did settle down. So I got here yesterday. I'm here at the Marriott downtown Salt Lake City in Utah, USA. And it's just an absolutely spectacular experience. I hope you don't mind. I have some notes here that I'm going to be referring to as I go through this show. It's quite an experience to see the way XANGO does things. Now, I've been in network marketing direct sales for about 16 years, since 1995. And I've been to a lot of events, a lot of different company events, a lot of training events. And there's 3 words that I can say that describe XANGO, probably more so than any other company. Now, before I go any further, understand, I am not in the business of recommending any company. You all will take the information and you'll digest it and you'll make your decisions from there. I'm not here to recommend XANGO for anyone. I'm here to talk about this weekend's experience. Tomorrow night, Saturday, will be the last broadcast for OnAIR. And then once again, we will pick up on November 1st as a daily show. So, when you come into the Salt Palace and you see all of the signage, if you look behind me once again, you see the signage that XANGO has. It's very, very colorful. It's very, very energetic. And the 3 words that describe XANGO to me is culture, culture, culture. I don't think there's any company in direct selling that comes close to matching the culture that XANGO has. Now, understand, every company has their culture. XANGO's culture is very, very different. It's so high energy, it's so energetic, it's so youthful, and when you go into the event, you see it play out. Not just from the outside, but once you're inside the Salt Lake Palace Arena. You see all of the energy, you see all of the color. I had the opportunity to talk to some people last night at dinner, and one of the things that they were talking about, I happened to be at a table just to the right of them, and they were talking about this on-demand thing that they were really excited about, and I'll get into that a little more deeply. But they're really, really excited about this on-demand thing that XANGO has introduced as a first in the history of direct selling. And I'm happy to say once again that Direct Selling Live is a major, major part of this whole broadcast. So when you can be kind of a fly on the wall, particularly if you are a journalist or you're a media like I am this weekend, you get a chance to really hear people talk about their company. That is incredibly valuable, especially if you're a media or a journalist and you're going to do a unbiased story. Well, these people were really, really excited to be here, and they had heard about some of the things that were going to happen. But it's always good to hear, because oftentimes you'll be in a setting like that and you'll be with a group of people, or you'll see a group of people talking about their company, and there's always that 1 or 2 individuals that has some gripe to say. Well, but this large group, not one had anything to say negative about their experience with XANGO. And you can find that with a lot of companies, but it's always good to hear. Since the event actually started yesterday was registration, and it ended with an absolutely killer party. Oh my gosh, it was stupid, it was outrageous, it was so cool. But when you go in to register, your eyes just open up. I've been in a lot of registration areas in direct selling. Their registration area reminded me of when I went to XANGO Corporate, which my very first impression was, it's like walking into Apple. Now, you've seen the iPod, you've seen the iPad, you've seen it all. And you know what the culture of Apple looks like and feels like. Well, XANGO, these guys, their culture is exactly the same. So when you walk in there, that's exactly what you get. When I walked into the registration, which was interesting because when I got here to the hotel, my bag and my badge was supposed to be here. All that got all mixed up. They got it taken care of pretty quickly over there, which was very cool. Ashley Elfson, just outstanding, and Adam, who hooked me up over there. But this was outstanding. It was so huge. When you walked into the room, right smack in the center is the XANGO bar, where everyone is getting their XANGO mangosteen juice. And at the top of the ceiling, there's this huge, you've seen the Union 76 ball if you live here in the United States, the Union 76 gas station ball. And right there, it's just spinning around. They've got these two young DJs off to the side. I mean, they're just jamming away. They have all sorts of displays. Their registration for national, international was just crazy. It was absolutely outstanding. I spoke to a number of international people last night just to kind of get a feel for what they thought. And this particular group of Russian girls, very, very young, they actually work for XANGO in Russia. And they said to me, this is our first time here in the United States, and it's our opinion that every company does their conferences like this. And I said, au contraire, not even close. XANGO is so different than everyone else. You are working for a very, very, very cool company. And the party, they had the tribute, which is a band that Rolling Stone magazine says is the best Beatle cover band in the world, and I have to agree. It was so much fun, this party last night. But parties and opening events, how do they translate into extra business or customers? Well, it's all about the culture. And so today, the event actually started. They actually had their general session 1 and 2. Gary Hollister, one of their founders, just a spectacular gentleman, got a chance to spend some time with him in February. He said something that I thought was pretty interesting. XANGO is a very cutting-edge company. I don't think anyone would ever deny that. They're very, very cutting-edge. And that's what makes them so cool in a lot of ways. But Gary Hollister, who's the oldest of the 6 founders by far, I think, said that we're all about innovation. We're all about being the market leader. We're all about being there first. And what he said was, when we run out of ideas, we just make up more. And I wish more companies would do that. You just make up more, and that's the mark of innovation, that's the mark of creativity, and that's really what the mark of XANGO is all about. There's about 5,000 to 6,000 people at this event. They're having a good time. What's really cool about the 5,000 to 6,000 people is they're all in this huge auditorium. And off to the side, something that I've never seen before, are these little kids about 5, 6, 7 years old, off to the side just playing, just running around. Now imagine, you being at your conference, would that even be allowed? But see, XANGO is very different. The family culture, the fun culture, the relaxed culture is one of the things that makes them so different. I didn't realize this, but they've been in business since 2002. They have already created 90 millionaires. That's an average of 10 millionaires a year. It's just crazy. It was also good to see throughout the audience the different countries being represented, and you could tell by the number of international flags that people brought. People brought flags representing their countries, which is something I had never seen before. I imagine it does happen, but it was really nice to actually see it. It's really just a fun place right now. And I think it's one of the things that really makes XANGO different. I'm so happy to be here. Now, Go On Demand. What XANGO did was for those people who couldn't make this event, they created a on-demand service that they could order, and they could download the entire package, which wasn't the entire event, a large portion, all 11 speakers, all 3 general sessions, 8 breakout sessions, I believe. You could order it on demand, and you can watch it unlimited once you order it through October 31st. I understand it may even be pushed out further. Or you could order it a la carte. It is such an honor for Direct Selling Live to be a part of this. Nothing like this has ever been done. And so for XANGO, it's not so much about this year, even though they've got thousands of people watching. I checked I've already looked around and talked to some other people. They've got thousands of people watching their on-demand. They're expecting by the end of the year that they will have had 100,000 people watch the on-demand. Now that's cutting edge. That's technology at its best. That's visionary thinking. That's leadership thinking. And that's the kind of thinking that an absolutely outstanding company is all about. Tomorrow night, come back and I'll tell you more about how things turn out. They've got their big soccer game and other breakout sessions. I'll be going to a number of breakout sessions tomorrow to see how those unfold. It's really, really cool. So for the guys over at XANGO, from Joe Morden to Gordon Morden, Kent Wood, Brian Davis, Gary Hollister, and of course our boy Aaron Garrity, just an outstanding group of gentlemen. But with that said, I know who the glue is that keeps all of this together, and it's none of them. The glue that keeps this whole machine running, I am absolutely convinced, is Beverly Hollister. Just an absolutely gorgeous woman, and that's the report for today. On Air with Keeper, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Once we go to daily, it will be on November 1st at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Don't forget tomorrow morning, MYB Talk, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 128. At 9:30 Eastern Time, I will be on for 15 minutes talking about the experience here at XANGO. Have a good day. Look forward to talking to you. Hey, by the way, if you have a comment, just click on the button below. Send me any comments, any questions. If you've got some topics you'd like us to get into, we're more than happy to take a look at them. Have a good one. Take care. Keep her out.